Alright guys, so welcome to the explanation part of this video. In this video we're going to cover the paintbrush change, the reverse paintbrush change, and many cool little applications and bonus tips that will make your paintbrush change the best, and you get to do everything you saw in the previous video. So let's take a look at how everything works now. Roll it. So let's get into the explanation of the regular paintbrush change. So you get a nice feel of how this change works, and then we'll go into the reverse. So what it looks like is you take a card and you change it just like that. Now for this you're going to need to start with a double. Now let's skip ahead one step. This is the position of the change when you're about to do it. Okay, so you're going to want to pick a double that suits you best to get in this position. Now the way I like to do it is riffle up, get a break, a little pinky break, just like that, and revolve it so it's in this position. Okay. Now another way to do this is a push-off double, where it comes here and you align it in this position. I know a lot of double lifts are like that, where you turn it up on top of the deck, but this may be problematic, as then you would have to take your double and readjust it here. So my advice is just definitely pick a double that will work in this position right here. So now that you're here, you're actually going to do the change just like that. Now the way this works is simply your right fingers are going to grip the card in this position with your thumb on top and 3 fingers on the bottom. Okay. Now it's only these 4 fingers that are going to do the action basically, and you're going to use your right thumb here for support. So I'm really holding it between my left thumb and my left first finger, and my right 3 fingers and thumb on top. Okay, but this is all just for support because your right hand is going to do all the motion. Alright, so from here you're going to push with your thumb just a fraction of an inch towards your left side, so you're basically splitting these 2 cards up just like that, but you're going to do it a fraction, maybe less than a 1/16 of an inch, just like that, so you could actually have a little separation here. Now what's essentially going to happen is this top card is going to flip on top of the deck in slow motion like that, revealing the bottom card, okay, in the same manner, and you want to keep everything in this position. I know a lot of times when people try to attempt this color change, they want to take the card and place it on top of the deck to make it easier for this top card to go flush on top of the deck and then come away. But I feel that a better version to do this is to have this parallel to the deck, just like that, perpendicular, I'm sorry. So you're having these 2 cards perpendicular to the deck, and you're leaving it in this position this whole time. So once you split the 2 cards, this bottom card will not move from this position. The only thing that will move is that top card, and it's going to go flush against the deck by pushing your 3 fingers on the bottom. You're going to push up just a little bit, and that top card is going to snap off, snap past the thumb. You're going to get a little click like that. It's going to snap past the thumb and shoot on top of the deck. Now again, this 8 on the bottom, that second card, will not move. So in slow motion, you're going to pull just a little bit, snap the card up, this will come up, it'll go flush on top of the deck. Now your thumb will come across and just nest that card back in so it doesn't flap from one side to the other. So you're going to push with the thumb, pull with the fingers, whichever is easier. Just split those 2 cards, bottom card going to the right, topmost card going to the left, and you're going to snap it up by just bending it. Your fingers push up and it snaps off the thumb. Okay, it's going to do this. Your thumb of the left hand is going to go and catch it on top of the deck and then reposition it exactly where it was before. So let's look at these steps again in slow motion. You start off with your double like this. I like to give it just a little gentle, this kind of action to at the end make the change look a little better. But that's definitely optional. So what you want to do is have the double in this position. I kind of wave it just like this, buckling the card. When I'm ready to do the change, I split, push, thumb snaps, left thumb comes across and grabs that 8. So notice where my thumb is when it starts and where it ends. It should be in the same position, and that'll really create the illusion like this card never moved. Okay, so in slow motion, boom, boom, and this. Okay, keeping this card perpendicular to the deck. And once again, in fast motion, it should just look like this. And the card changes. So that's just a rundown of the Roy Walton's original paintbrush change. Now let's take a look at how to do it backwards and get that really nice action of it changing back and forth. So here's a rundown of the paintbrush change step by step. So you have the two cards on top. Okay, the card that it will change into is the top card, and that other card that you will change from is going to be the second card. You're going to do a double. Any double that works for you, that gets you into this position, as you don't want to readjust from maybe a double like this. So just any double that will get you in this position. Now what's going to happen is you're going to keep it parallel to the deck the whole time. Your fingers will grab, 3 fingers on the bottom, thumb on top of the right hand will grab this card, and just I kind of stroke it up and down just like this, just to catch a reflection to make the change nicer, but that's optional. Now what's going to happen is that the cards are going to split, moving the bottom card to the right just a hair and the top card to the left, and you're going to do that using your right hand fingers. So you're going to push your thumb to the left and or drag your fingers to the right, your bottom 3 fingers, and it'll just split it just a fraction of an inch. This is actually too much, but for camera purposes you get the idea. So you're going to do that just till you feel it split like that, and you're going to pop it up by bending it upwards. So it's bending upwards, it's going to pop off your thumb, and these 3 fingers are going to help push the card on top of the deck. So you're going to push it, so your fingers are going to push through this card onto that top card, and it'll pop onto the deck. So here it is, split, pop off the thumb. This bottom card helps by pushing these with these three fingers, push up, and it's going to go on top of the deck. At the same time, your left thumb will come around. So it starts in this position, it will come around that card and realign itself in this exact same position, so it looked like nothing changed. You were holding a card in the same position, and now after the change you're holding the card in the same position. So once again, the double here, show the card, split the card, pop it up, left thumb adjusts, grabs the card, and is it in the same position? You bet your butt it is. So that's just a rundown of the basic paintbrush change. So let's get into the reverse paintbrush change. Okay, what this is going to do is reverse the action of what we just learned. So we just learned making a card change from here to here, starting with a double, ending with a single. Now we're going to get a little bit crazy. And we're going to actually take that one card that we just changed and pop it back onto the card. Make it and change back and forth, back and forth. You could pop 2 cards up, you could leave 1 card. It's really, after you learn this technique, it's using your imagination on how many cards you want to go back and forth with. So let's look at the technique and see exactly how that works. You're going to want to start with a single card, just like this. Okay? Now the idea is you're going to take that top card and you're going to kind of shoot it on, lay it on top of that card, and then square it up. So that's what you have to keep in mind when learning this. What you want to do is just first do this and square it up. So that's just bigger picture. Now let's get into the fine details of finger placement and all that other stuff. So the card is being held in the exact same position as if you were doing the regular paintbrush change by holding it with your 3 fingers and thumb, and these 2 fingers just kind of resting on here, okay, in that parallel position, perpendicular, I'm sorry. Now there's going to be a difference though in when the card comes back, is that your 4th finger of your 3rd finger of your right hand will come and it will be placed on the bottom edge here of the card. Before it was underneath with the rest of the 3 fingers, now it's going to be adjust it so that it's on the bottom side, the side closest towards you of the card. This will act as a squaring up technique over here in just a second with your thumb and fourth finger. Okay, so it's very important that you have your fourth finger there. So you have it here. This is the position. Now, to shoot this card back, I find that you could definitely get into it by just pulling down with your pinky, but to make things really easy, and this is the technique I use, is just to get a little thumb break, just like that. Now, this is probably the break that I use in live situations, but for camera purposes, we're going to accentuate that break, just like that, so you see it. So there's a break with the thumb, okay? Now that's going to be important because it's going to help align it even better, all right? So pop that break up, okay? And just a natural action of doing this, showing the card. There, I just got my break. Now what's going to happen is you're going to lay the first card on top of these three fingers, okay? And it's just going to act as a support here. And more importantly, the pinky. The pinky is actually going to be used to pull down this top card of the deck in kind of a punch pass kind of sequence where I guess you could call it a punch pass, or if you guys know the top shot, it's kind of the same action. The pinky will pull down, okay, but not, you know, in a gentle fashion that it actually rides along this deck and it becomes perpendicular to the deck, right? And this will help it get into the position on top of this card. So the action is pop with the thumb, okay, you're getting a one card break with the thumb. Your left pinky pulls down till it's parallel, okay, and that's going to be aligned on top of this card. All right, so now you know what we're going with it. Here it is again. Show the card, fourth finger here, thumb break, lay the card on top of these three fingers, your pinky will pull down, and notice how even though this card is on top of the pinky, your pinky should still have room over here to pull the card down like this, okay? So just make sure that your pinky is on top of the card while the card is rested there. So your pinky is going to pull just like that and pop off that one card. Now, there is a problem though. After doing the break, after pulling it down, notice how this is not aligned at all, and you don't want to be doing this. So we got to figure out a good way to align it just efficiently and fast so the spectator doesn't see. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to use our fourth finger, third finger, thumb, and the first finger of the left hand, and that's going to be placed on this top corner, okay, the corner of the pip, left corner. So as your pinky pulls down, immediately you're going to grab these two corners, just like that, and you're going to square up, okay? So as soon as this hits that one card, you're going to square up with these two fingers, just like that. And then this will act just as a guide, as a support to just square up any loose corners. So once again, here it is, one card, do a little, the tiniest thumb break, card goes on top, okay, same action, but now your pinky is going to pull down, it's going to pop off, first thumb and third finger just square up really tightly there, and then any extra added corners here that are squared up will be aligned with the left first finger, okay? So here it is, slow motion, like this, square, square, and then continue to do this motion that I do. And once again, fast motion, a little faster, like that. And now a little faster, just like that, okay? So let's just take you through that really, really fast one more time. Queen of Spades, show the Queen of Spades. I get my thumb break, lay it on top. Pinky pulls down. I align with this finger here, and my first finger on top, and I position it right on top of that one card. Stroke it back and forth like this, and then you could go back into the regular paintbrush change. So I definitely suggest practicing this one time the reverse, one time the regular. Reverse, regular, and just practice this while you're on your TV. You could pop two, like I just did there, by just getting 2 breaks, or you could do 3 breaks, or however many. I felt that 3 is really the maximum that you could do and still square it up right. But you could do 2 pretty well too. See, that's 2, and here's 1, going back and forth. So definitely practice going from the regular paintbrush change, getting your break, your thumb break, shooting it on top, aligning it with these 3 fingers, and then going right back. So it's a nice visual of having the queen change to the joker and right back to the queen, just for a second there. So that's just the reverse paintbrush change, which is an addition to the Roy Walton regular paintbrush change. Alright guys, this is actually something fun. We can actually use a technique which will make you start with a single card, change it, say in this case the 8 to a 5, and now you're ending clean with a single card. Okay. Now this is going to be using the KM move. Now let's get a nice contrast of 2 cards, the joker and the ace. You're going to start with a single card and end with a single card. By doing that, you're going to use the reverse paintbrush change, do the move, right? And now you're going to use the KM move, which basically takes that bottom card and squares it back onto the pack under the cover of that top card. Okay, so that's just cleaning it up so you're not ending dirty with that one card. So you could start with a single, show the single all around, say the joker changes to the ace, just like that. And now it's a single to a single, you end clean. Okay guys, now that you learned the 2 variations, the paintbrush change and the reverse paintbrush change, I'm going to go through something that is really kind of cool, and it's changing one card to another card to a third card. Now to follow along with this, just make things easy for yourself. Go ahead, take off your thumb tip right now. Yeah, you're not going to need that for this. Just go ahead, place that to the side. You're going to need the deck of cards and the skills you've learned with the paintbrush change and the reverse one. So, start with a card, 2 of diamonds. It's actually going to change to the ace and then to the ace of clubs. So it changes 3 times. Do that one more time. You're actually going to take a card, say for instance the 4 of diamonds. It's actually going to change to the king and it changes to the 8. So it changes 3 times. Now you guys already know how to do this. What it is just a variation on the paintbrush change and the regular one. But you're going to start with a double. So if you think about it, if you start with a double, okay, and you do the reverse one first, you're 1 ahead. You do the reverse paintbrush change, change the queen to a joker, and now you're going to do the regular paintbrush change by flipping the 2 cards back on top of the deck. Now you're left clean with 1 card, and you've just changed 1 card to 2 cards to 3. So once again, it's the queen over here, do the reverse, changes to the joker, do it again, changes to the ace. 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bango. So here's something cool. I'll use a 3 and a 3. If you add 3 and 3 together, you actually get 6 of hearts. So here's a nice splitting card routine, or at least one phase of it. If you force the 6 of hearts, having the 2 3s on top, control it to the top, you're in the position to do what I just showed you. So you're going to start off with a double, showing the 3, concealing the 6, and you're going to use that double to turn over the 3. The double will be placed on the bottom, and that top card will be out jogged just like that. Now you're going to do your normal paintbrush change that you do, but this time have your first finger ready to push back this top card flush to the deck. So the same procedure holds true. You're going to do the change, push it up, this first finger, as soon as it comes into contact with the deck, it's going to push flush, and you're going to go into the same exact position you would as if you were doing a normal paintbrush change. So that's a 3 and a 3, double on the bottom, into the 6, like that. So in 1975, Roy Walton published the paintbrush change, and 2 years later, Ed Marlowe came up with a variation called the face-up startler. For more information, you can definitely check out those two sources, or Reflection DVD by Bill Goodwin. It explains it really well on that, and that's produced by, of course, that's right, Dan Dave. So check those out.